Good morning. All right. My name's Julie Sarson. I'm with the Department of Municipal Affairs and Housing, and I am from the New Glasgow office, which is part of the Northern Regional Office. So, what we do at Housing and how we do it. So we offer home repair programs to help low-income homeowners stay in their homes longer, and we sort of help preserve existing housing stock of the province. So we offer grants and loans for urgent home repairs, and we also do accommodations for any disability or mobility-related issues. So, program eligibility. So, in order to qualify for our programs, you have to be under a certain income threshold. You have to own and occupy your home for a year or more. And it would only apply to, like, your primary residence. So if you had a cottage and a home, the repairs would only apply to the home. We would also look at the type of repairs you're looking for, or that homeowners are looking for, and the extent of those repairs. And we would look at previous assistance. So if you had a grant last year, you would not be re-eligible to get a grant this year. So the housing income limits, they are different province-wide. So if you are in Halifax or Dartmouth, so HRM, it would be a one-bedroom would be $47,000, a two-bedroom $60,000, and a three-bedroom $67,000. And for the rest of the province, a one-bedroom is $57,500, two-bedroom is $66,000, and a three-bedroom is $78,000. So if applicants, once we receive an application, we look at the total household composition. So if it's a single or if it's a single person or a couple, they're considered a one-bedroom count. So we would look at their total combined income, and they have to be under the income threshold for that bedroom count to qualify for any grants through our department. And programs that we offer. So there's two kinds of programs. One is a grant, which is non-repayable, and there's no commitment. So if you apply for funding to help fund a new septic, and it was covered by a grant, we would pay for the grant, and then nothing further is required from the homeowner. We pay the money directly to the contractor, and then we move on. And these grants are available every 5 years. So homeowners can get one this year, and in 5 years from now, they can apply for another one. Another type of program that we offer are called forgivable loans. And these are not repayable, but there are conditions attached to the funding. So if you, typically it's a 5-year term, we can go up to $18,000, but you have to own and occupy your home for a 5-year period. So if you got a grant today, over the next 5 years, you have to adhere to those terms and conditions, and you have to stay in your home for 5 years. Every month that you do so, or the homeowner does, they earn a forgiveness payment, which is applied to the outstanding balance of the grant, and then it reduces every month, and at 5 years, it's paid in full. And with these loans, the forgivable loans, you're only eligible for one every 15 years. So if you've exhausted the full $18,000 this year, you can't reapply for one for 15 years. But if you've only used up like $10,000 this year, you can reapply next fiscal year for the balance. So under the grant category, we offer several different ones, and they come with like different values. So FERP is our first one, and that's Emergency Repair Program. It's provincial funding. It's for people 65 years or less, and it's maximum funding is up to 6,500. Then we have SCAP. This is the same type of thing, but it's for people 65 or older, same funding and same income limit threshold. and it is also provincial funding. The next one is ERP. This is, again, home repair programs, emergencies only. You can only get one of these in a lifetime, so if you get one this year, you're not eligible for this specific program again. Funding is $7,000, and it only applies if you live in a community with a population of 2,500 or less. And the last one under grant is called Access a Home, and this again is $7,000, but it is specifically for people who are confined to a wheelchair or will be in the near future, and it would cover type of like repairs for accessibility. Under the forgivable loans, we have, the first one's called a RAP. This has a 5-year commitment if you get the whole $18,000 funding. And this could cover anything from a roof to no septic, to a well, to windows and doors. The next one is called DRAP. So this is the same as RAP, but it's specifically for persons with disabilities. So someone may be looking for an accessible bathroom, grab bars, stuff like this. The last one is a HASI. This one only has a 6-month commitment period, and it's only for $3,500, and it's for people who are over the age of 65 and are looking for sort of adaptations due to their age. So this is just an example of a list of some repairs that would be covered by our programs. So we would, fund a new furnace or repair to an existing furnace, oil tank. We don't do heat pumps, so we would do furnace, baseboard heaters, stuff like that, but no heat pumps. Any electrical, if there were health and safety issues in the home and the electrical had to be fixed, this could be potentially be covered. We do sewer and septic, plumbing, roof, chimney, windows. Windows and doors is typically like a hot ticket item for homeowners. Everybody wants new windows and doors, but for our programs, we would not do them if they were drafty or old. They would have to be rotten or broken. We do door steps, raised toilets, walk-in showers, wheelchair ramps, any structural issues, and grab bars. And for the sewer and septic, we don't get a whole lot. We may get maybe 10 per year. And we used to send a referral then to Department of Environment, and they used to do the septic designs for our clients, like free of charge. And then we would pay for the installation fees of the septic. So we used to have an understanding with them, but that understanding is not there anymore. So we don't have a relationship with the Department of Environment like we did. So now it's up to the homeowners to pay to get their own septic designed and pay for those fees, and then we'll pay for the installation, unless the installation cost is low enough that we can include the design fees in with it. So just a list of repairs that would not be eligible for funding. Any mold remediation is not something that we would do. Typically just because of the cost involved would exceed what we could do. Asbestos remediation, any cosmetic repairs are not something that we would consider. Landscaping, any cost that the homeowner incurred before approval from us would also not be eligible, or any efficiency upgrades, but we do have an understanding with Efficiency Nova Scotia. So we typically refer, we have a referral form that we send to Efficiency Nova Scotia for anyone who qualifies for our programs, and then that sort of pre-vets them in for their programs as well, so for the off-oil program and the home warming program. And we don't do any insulation. And just a few other considerations. After an application is received by a homeowner, we do an inspection of the home, full interior, exterior inspection, and we would look to see, typically homeowners on the application can request specific repairs that they're looking for, just to give us an idea when we go what to look for, but the inspector would make the determination as to what actually qualifies as an eligible repair. And then the inspector designs the scope of work and then provides the applicant or homeowner with the bid sheets. And then the bid sheets have to engage a contractor to provide quotes for the work on our specific forms. And then the relationship between the contractor and is between the homeowner and the contractor, so we don't get involved between like who they hire, and we typically can't recommend anybody. And if the cost of the repairs exceed what we can provide for funding, the homeowner is responsible to pay any overage. And typically just the northern office, we receive approximately 1,000 applications a year, but last year we had like a unusually busy year, so our applications totaled probably 1,200, which results in a wait list. We have 4 caseworkers on staff, so typically those are divided between them, so they end up with several hundred files in applications. So the wait list right now, I would say, is probably 3 to 4 months. So if a new homeowner applied today, it would be 3 or 4 months before any funding was approved. And another note to mention is that if you get grant funding, you can't stack the forgivable loan funding on top of it. So you can't sort of double dip. You can only get one type of funding per fiscal year till you've reached your maximum funding. And so we have 4 regional housing offices in the province. There's one in Sydney, which covers all of Cape Breton. There's one in Northern, in New Glasgow, and we cover Guysborough, Antigonish, Pictou, Cumberland, and Colchester counties. The office in Western is in Middleton, and they do Kings, Annapolis, Digby, Yarmouth, Shelburne, Queens, and Lunenburg. And then there's an office in Halifax, and they do HRM, and then Hants County. And that's it. So I'm here if there's any questions. Applications, if you go to a homeowner's home and they need help with like design or new septic, you can refer them to our office, and they can mail out an application to the homeowner and sort of tell them what documentation we require. And I can leave business cards maybe with Gary, and he can pass them out if anybody wants more information.